Let's talk about Three Body Problem, the latest Netflix mind bender. I'm going to share my thoughts and feelings on this first season. There will be spoilers discussed ahead, and please get your honest reviews down below as well. Despite being based on the 2008 novel by Liu Cixin, the big pull factor label slapped on this series wasn't his name, but two others, Benioff and Weiss. It can't be denied that the way D&D handle Game of Thrones had their names going from stardom to the murky depths, in a way where their reputation alone was a bigger talking point in the run-up to Three Body Problem than the series itself. Not so much chat about I wonder how the source material's going to be adapted, more chat about will they make a mess of a big show again. Trust in showrunners is such a challenging aspect of TV, where we've seen many examples of the person or people behind the curtain being in the firing line more often than what's in front of the curtain. So in order for me to approach Three Body Problem, I had to detach the ending of Game of Thrones from my mind, and as I'm unfamiliar with the original novel for this, I was able to take the show on face value, though I would love to read some comments of how the show compares to the source. With that being said, does Three Body Problem manifest as a household name? Is it the new must-watch? Will it have the world talking? Does it generate next level buzz? Well, after that first episode, I certainly believed it would. As far as hooks go, I can't think of many shows in recent memory that captured me quite like this first episode did, because the mystery and core concept were fascinating. After kicking things off in 60s China with a revolution against key scientific theories, the intrigue was palatable, and then when we kick to the present day to hear things like science is broken, all physics is wrong, there's some mad readings that defy all known theories and laws, I thought, wow, that is super high concept while also sounding captivating. The idea that there's something out there which completely breaks decades of research, totally throws the most brilliant scientific minds in the world, can't be explained, there's a string of suicides linked with scientists, and some people can see countdowns towards an unknown endpoint. Bloody hell, did this thing kick off Three Body Problem with a bang. There was so much juice here, fuel for the imagination to run riot with. And I mean, getting lines of dialogue like, has the universe ever winked at you? Spine-tingling stuff. I was fully prepared for a brilliant ride into scientific mysteries. And then the rest of the series happened. Now, I am going to specify now that on the whole, I did still enjoy the series, but nowhere near to the extent I believed it would head given the initial setup. And that's down to the fact I think it tries to juggle so many different ideas and tones to a point where it became disjointed and inconsistent. The left turn for me that began all of that muddling was the VR gaming headsets. I loved the time and location jumping in episode 1 because the connections between 20th century China and the 21st century felt natural. Even though the VR game winds up becoming linked to the overall narrative, I couldn't help but get thrown by jumping back to ancient civilizations in the very next episode. And we spend a very long time there too. We learn that it's a recruitment method for scouting out the most brilliant minds on the planet, but I don't know, I'm not sure I like the idea of an unimaginably advanced alien race coming to Earth using the medium of VR gaming to learn who its best and brightest minds are, when they admit they can literally observe anybody, anytime they want, all the time, undetected. Like, are they not able to just, point out the clever ones instead of dispersing loads of helmets about the place? Look, I'm probably overthinking it, and I almost definitely have missed something here, but the show just throws so many new ideas at you that it does tend to become hard to track. But the problems for me didn't just stem from the gaming aspect. I'm just not quite certain what Three Body Problem wanted to be. It's part big sci-fi extravaganza trying to understand an alien race, almost like an arrival, but it's also part character drama about personal relationships, friendships, and human conflicts. I'm not saying you can only have one or the other. The best part about Game of Thrones was that the action was immense, made better by how invested invested in the characters you could get. But there, it flowed a lot better than it does here. It was mostly black and white here. Here's your personal issue segments, here's your humanity needs to survive segments. It's such a shame because it's a double-edged sword for me. Hands down, my favourite character and subplot in the entire show was Will Downing. Alex Sharp's handling of this character was absolutely beautiful. There's a massive threat to humanity on the horizon and intelligence programs set up to tackle it, but tucked in between all of that is just a story of a young man with stage 4 cancer embracing the months he has left while being troubled by having to finally admit his feelings for the woman he loves. Everything with Will in isolation was simply gorgeous, with the Lana Del Rey video games scene at the end of episode 6 really connecting with me. However, Will is just a small element of the show as a whole. Yeah, he becomes quite integral and important later on, but yeah, I think the cast is the thing that held this show up. They propped it more than the plot itself. And even though to me Will is the finest example, we had some of the Game of Thrones alumni returning, like Liam Cunningham, Jonathan Pryce, John Bradley, but we also had some excellent performances from Jovan Adepo, Marlo Kelly, Rosalind Chow. Benedict Wong was tremendous here, and we had some lovely small appearances by the likes of Reece Shearsmith, Mark Gatiss, Phil Wang, Ade Edmondson. All in all, the cast was strong in every department, and that really did help salvage a lot of Three Body Problems quality. The core premise is the thing that I'm uncertain of. So we have the San T as the big bad, capable of pure chaos, far more advanced than humanity is. They can literally make the universe blink, so humanity has to try and get the groundwork going to prepare for an oncoming invasion hundreds of years in the future. Love the idea of prepping now for something way down the line, and it kind of had that Interstellar thing where like a little bit of time here will have a big monumental impact on time somewhere else. Like if all of these scientists mess up now, or they struggle, or you know, they hesitate, then that could have a big impact in centuries time. So what genius way are we going to tackle the alien problem? We're going to launch a frozen human brain towards it using a string of consecutive nuclear explosions in space. Oh, are we now? Look, science fiction is fiction. Of course it is, the clue's in the name. Yet I still feel like there's plausible science fiction and yeah, that's a bit weird science fiction. Three Body Problem sporadically juggles both of those things, and to me that made it feel imbalanced, just like the tone. As each new episode was flung in my direction, I felt like there were too many new questions added to the pile, and I don't expect everything to be resolved right away. They clearly have a multi-season plan for the show. Admittedly, I would have liked the revelation of what the San T were, what, you know, was making the universe blink. I might have enjoyed that coming a little later. Yeah, I came out of episode 8 here, the finale, feeling like there was a tad too much crammed into this first season. It definitely could have been more laser focused. The VR gaming subplot could have worked better for me, still managed to get invested enough to want to see what ultimately happens. It wasn't the highest grade, but absolutely credible enough of its own merits to warrant further exploration in more seasons. However, as indicated previously, had the cast not been as strong as it is, this one could have really struggled. Yeah, that's just my honest review though. What's yours? I'm Connor Waits, thanks for checking out this video. Leave your thoughts below and cheers out.